Yeah. Oh, it is Keys Open Doors, aka the VX Vegan. You're also known as the Vintage Vegan. What's going on, guys? All right, so welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of y'all that don't know me, I'm Keys Open Doors. What I do is primarily I sell vintage clothes and accessories, sneakers, collectibles, toys, what have you. Very niche vintage items. And it's been a game changer in my life. And I'm just here to like show y'all things that I do on a daily basis. Ways that you can save money thrifting, the ways that you can make money thrifting. So it's your choice. You can either save money, make money, or do both. And I just happen to do both of those, and I teach others how to do that. Sheesh. I used to hate the thrift store. I used to hate the thrift store. It was daunting. Like if it was time to go shopping and I knew my parents wanted to go clothing shopping, like first of all, my parents was a little bit older than the parents at that time. Um, I could tell a difference during that. I could tell a difference at the, you know what I mean. When I would go to school, see my parents were a little bit older, and it was slightly older. They weren't even that old, but it was just like slightly older than the other parents. But they were a little bit more antiquated and a little bit more how I am with my clothes, and that's like really I like classic stuff, and usually classic stuff stamps into a time period. So like bell bottoms is 70s, 60s. Windbreakers and sweatsuits is really 80s heavy hard. You know what I'm saying? Velour suits and things of that nature. High top sneakers. I was really always like retro. Yeah, I guess I was just bred that way. It was no, you know what I mean. There was no other way about it. Like my parents made it that way. But anyway, and everybody knew my parents for like dressing, and I used to hate it. We would go to Goodwill. They would drag me to Goodwill, and going to Goodwill was so whack to me. Like I'm like, oh my god, I feel poor. There's other poor people here. They can see me being poor. I don't want to participate in the poverty. Like I'm acting like I got a job at the time, but that's the way I felt. And like it's just like people that are too scared to count the change at the bus stop because they're gonna feel broke. It's a weird mentality because you really care about what other people think instead of getting to where you need to go. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So they would drag me to the Goodwill, and I would just cry and drag my feet and complain and hope I would get a toy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, um, and I didn't dress myself. I wasn't buying my own clothes. I really didn't have much of a sense of fashion. I liked what I liked, which is still kind of true. All right. I liked what I liked, but it wasn't like I was really getting it all the time. But like the trend started with the baggy jeans and stuff like that. It was Guess jeans. I specifically remember because I remember I got my first pair of baggy jeans. They were a pair of Guess jeans, and I wore them to my third grade dance recital type thing show, whatever that was. And we was doing the butterfly, so I had a white button up, and I was doing the butterfly with the baggy Guess jeans. That was the world to me. Like it was crazy because I was so used to like wearing like the non-name brand stuff. Sometimes my stuff fit differently. Excuse me. Sometimes my stuff fit differently. Like, uh, my I guess my clothes were more like people. I used to get teased for my clothes being tight. Alright, so I used to get teased for my clothes being tight. And so around 13, 14, 14, so like 12, I moved to a different neighborhood in the Bronx. So I started off on the east side, I moved to a different neighborhood in the Bronx. So when I moved to this different neighborhood, I started getting different friends. My friends at the time cared about the fashion stuff because, they were trendy, fit in, popular. I didn't care. Um, so they made a big deal about certain things. I remember previous to that, I was always a colorful person. Like I like my colors. So like I remember my mom took me there. There's a place called the the wholesale district in New York City, and the thing with the wholesale district is that it's a hit and a miss. It's mostly a miss, and it's ran by it's very close to Chinatown, and a lot of the Asians down there run stores where a lot of um, replicas are there, a lot of fakes, a lot of counterfeit items are in those stores. So it's known for the fakes, heavy fakes. So around the time of jerseys, which is around the time like I was 13, 14, woo boy. So my friends was getting these throwback jerseys. I didn't really care about them, right? So I used to go downtown, and what I really wanted was a Coogee sweater. So this was like seventh grade. Must seventh grade. I was 11 or 12. Wow, it's crazy. It's a long time ago. And my mom got me this. I wanted this Coogee. I was like, I didn't. I never had a Coogee. I seen Coogee. I wanted a Coogee. Got a Coogee. Coochie was fake. I went to school, they roasted me. It was like, yo, what is that? Only one person stuck up for me. That's crazy. My man Angelo stuck up for me. He was like, yo, why y'all worry about you act like y'all bought it? Like, crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I never wore that sweater again. Never wore that sweater again. But lesson learned because that was another one of those like experiences that made me even better at what I do. Fast forward, get to high school and now like I was picking my own stuff before, but it really wasn't with what was popular. Like seventh grade, I remember summer of between sixth and seventh grade, I bought a pair of silver and white dunks. Like I was a dunk fiend, and the reason I was a dunk fiend is because I was a fan of Danny Super. Danny Super is a skateboarder from the Bronx. I used to skateboard. Another thing I got teased for. We'll save that for another video. So I really wanted dunks. And again, the Asians they don't throw things away. That's a key. I'm gonna put that key in here, and I'm gonna probably do another video about it. But the Asian, if you go to an Asian store, they don't throw stuff away. They usually have all the stuff that they had ever since they had the store. So they had the store since the 80s, 90s. They got stuff in there from the 80s and 90s. I can almost guarantee that. So, little gem for y'all on your thrifting journeys when you want to go through do your thrift hauls, your resale hauls, your vintage hauls. That's a good little tidbit. Let me see. 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 So yeah. Uh, I used to always love growing my hair, so I used to have my hair out in a big ass fro, and my mom was tired of doing it, got sick of seeing the hair. You know what I'm saying? Didn't want it out in the puff. She didn't like it. You know, she's like the clean cut. She likes the waves on me. She doesn't like any of this at all. Um, the deal was she'll buy me a pair of sneakers in exchange for me cutting my hair. I got so sick of it, and I wanted some sneakers so bad. I said deal, and I knew what sneakers I wanted because the other day we had walked by as a fish market right next to the store. It's the store's still there, but I think it's different owners and a lot of different stuff in there now, definitely. But they used to have sneakers on the wall, and they had the pair of orange and white high top Nike Dunks. They just came back out. So this is 1999, and these shoes came out in 98, if I'm not mistaken, 98 or 97. But they were still in there, shrink wrap, and it wasn't the popular shoe at that time, like the popular shoe in the hood. So I was like, okay, cop those. Then it was time to go back to school, so I was trying to negotiate for some new sneakers. My mom was like, just go ahead and skate in those. I said, Mom, I need skate sneakers. I need skate sneakers. I can't go to school. Like, I can't skate in these. These are my new sneakers. She's like, just do those for now, and then I'll get you some sneakers later. I was like, all right. Started skating in them. They was gonna be trash by now anyway, but they would have lasted a little bit longer for story purposes. Because I used to be able to pull out shoes and be like, yo, this is from here and this is from then. But anyway, that's a little tidbit. That's how I got started with the thrifting and my love of old school stuff, my love of vintage stuff. Like so, that started with me going to a Goodwill and actually seeing some things that I could actually rock with. Like around the time, I think you know what really sparked it was around the time that Lacoste was popping. Lacoste polo shirts was a trendy thing in New York City. You get your Lacoste polo, some fly jeans, and you know whatever shoe it was at the time. Maybe Prada tennis sneakers or the Maury 3/4 toe, full gated toe, whatever. Um, but they used to cop the Lacoste polo shirt, so I became a big fan of Ralph Lauren, aka Ralph Lifshitz. He was from the Bronx. It was an inspiration to me, and I saw his like classic piece. I'm like, yo, this fit nice. And then you see it in the old school shows, and I would see it on Will. You know what I'm saying? Another retro dream. I'm like, yo, you see Carlton wearing polo, then you see Simon, then you just see that. I'm like, yo, let me look into this. Then you just see like, oh snap. So now I'm shopping in the thrift store and I see dope polo pieces. So now I cop those polo pieces. In addition to that, my man's mom used to work at Filene's Basement. That's like one of those discount stores where like Ross, Marshalls, TJ, things of that nature. We would go into the Filene's Basement and cop these solid color polos, or striped polos, and match them with our kicks with some dope jeans and kill them every time. So that was my big thing for that. So when I started noticing those polo pieces in it, you know, I just went heavy on it, real heavy, and around what ninth grade, 10th grade, between ninth and 10th grade, my clothes started getting fitted. Ninth grade, my clothes started getting fitted. Yeah. And I was getting teased, and people was like, "Yo, what are you doing? That's that white boy stuff. You skateboarding? You want to be white so bad?" It was just crazy at that time. So I didn't really care. I was always gonna be me. I can't want to not be me. Whatever. So I ended up, uh, I ended up, I ended up selling polo out of my crib. Like, so I would have like pieces in my house, and I would end up selling polo out of my crib because polo was popping at the time. So, in my transition from being fitted to, I mean, being baggy like to fitted, because like around the time, let me see, like ninth grade, I went shopping for myself. So in ninth grade, I went shopping for myself. My mom let me get my own wardrobe. Ninth to tenth grade, I'm like, cool. I copped all the dope stuff, and so I went down. I copped some like hardwood classics, some Mitchell and Ness stuff, Mad Pepe and Nietzsche jeans, all that. Like I was just loaded up ninth to tenth grade. And it's crazy because then tenth grade hit, and I started going fitted. And I was getting teased for that. And that's when people was like, "Oh, you look like this. Your clothes are tight. You gay. You white. Whatever." Right. So I would mix and match at this point. Now I'm clothes fitted. Now I wanted to find the clothes because these clothing lines, they weren't catering to the fitted look in the hood. Like it wasn't easier to find, so you would have to go downtown, and that's when you have to expand your search. And then you run into a place like Century 21. We'll talk about that later. That's crazy. Shout out to shout out to you. You know you are. Um. So yeah, I would mix and match, and then like after a while, people would go from "Yo, what do you got on?" to "Yo, where'd you get that?" It took them a while, but once people are like, "Yo, where you get that?" Now I'm selling pieces out the crib. Now I'm selling classic polo pieces out the crib. I skipped over a lot of polo and a lot of Tommy Hilfiger in the thrifting in my earlier days due to lack of knowledge and community. I wasn't really entrenched in it. Like I didn't go 100%. I was just good at it because it's what I liked. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I went sold my pieces. Where was I? I sold my pieces out the crib, and uh, oh, and then that let me like when I moved to Washington. That's when I opened up an eBay store. So not only was I thrifting in Washington, which has a great selection. Here's another key: the wherever the life expectancy is long, the thrifting is usually great. Wherever the life expectancy is longer, the thrifting is usually great. Is usually great, and that's because older people hold on to things for longer times. They usually have homes. They usually don't move much. They usually don't change a child's room. People pass away. Stuff like that can be a benefit to you. Depending on where you live. Like I know based off a couple cities, like what I'm gonna find there usually, and what I'm guaranteed to find there. Like you already know if jump with the sports teams, city base, you're likely to find whatever city team in that city in that thrift store. But yeah, long life expectancy, dope selection. You're guaranteed to find some old stuff there. I moved to Washington, I opened up my eBay, and then I took off from there. And that's when the education really starts. Then you just start looking at stuff like, can I sell this? Can I sell that? Can I sell this? Can I sell that? So that's really how I got started into the thrift game. So now I'm gonna show you one of the things that I sold over the past couple of days. That's been a cool little flip. One of the things I like. Another one of those things that I like for myself, and then people ask about it because they see me with it, and that's usually the things that I sell. The stuff I like. I curate the taste. So um, this week's sell. Yeah, we gotta take a shot every time I say. This week's sell was this cement Buddha candle holder. Dope. I love these. It's a nice weight to it, great craftsmanship. Like, can you see that? I'm sorry, I'm supposed to hold my hand up behind it. Hope y'all can see. This is so cool. Like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Like, I put this in the sunroom in the front when I want to go smoke my L, have my little meditation and all that. But yeah, it's cool for a background. If you like candles, if you like Buddha, if you like meditating, if you want to give it to somebody as a gift, this is really cool. So I stumbled upon this and I said, I want some more. How many can I get? So once I found out that I could order 48 at a time, I think it was. Is it 24 in a box? Yeah, you go to 24 at a time. So I spoke to them. I'm gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna get 24. I said, you know what, let me just get another 24. So I got like 48 altogether for the sake of the conversation. We're gonna say it's 50 of them, right? I got 50 of these. I Each one of these is $1. Each one of these is $1. I think it's taxed. If you can actually that company you can get it non-tax too if you have the right credentials. But for sake of conversation, I paid $1 for this. Right, I sold it for $16 plus shipping and handling, which equates to like a $15 net profit. This. It's dope too. I would honestly, this is something that you would find in like um a home goods store or like a the Ross's furniture section. You'd find something like this in there for maybe like $20, $15. Um, so I'd sell it for $20, $15. Actually, it's heavy. Probably I've seen things like this go for 50. So as a bargain hunter myself, I know I could find this for 15, $20. So to find it for $1 was amazing. I said, I got to be a part of this game. So I copped it, boom, copped a bunch more, and I was able to sell it for $15. After I sold it for $15, $16, maybe $15, I messaged the buyer and I told them, thank you, first of all, right? Introduced myself, thank you. And then I told them, I asked her, do you want some more? I got a couple more of these if you're interested. She's like, yes, definitely. I like these. I'm like, so start a conversation with your clients as well. Start a conversation with your buyers. See what else they like. See if they want anything else. See if you can bulk sell. Put things together so you can save on shipping and your buyer saves money and making both of you guys happy. Sold it for 16, made $15 off of it. Got 50 of them. So let's say I would have got 100 of these. If I would have got 100 of these and sold each one of them for and make $15 off of each of them, that's $1,500 profit minus 100. So with that $1,400 profit, simple, replicated. And after I sold the one, I sold three more, so I sold four ASAP. So that was $60 within a matter of minutes just by opening my mouth, being active and engaging with the customer and seeing what the customer's needs was. And lo and behold, she wanted some more. She got some more. So this is a cool item. So I'm just not limited to thrift. Clearly, it's whatever. I'm gonna make $1 where I can make $1, but my niche is vintage. But if it's gonna be dope, it's gonna be dope. And I sold those, so that's something else that you could do. For those of y'all that just come in here for the first time, please like the video, subscribe, comment below. Do you have any questions? What else would you like to know how to flip? Where I sell, how I sell. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to hit me up below in the comments. Like, subscribe the video. I'm going to have more stuff like this for y'all coming soon. It's your boy Keese. Open doors. Don't forget the name. Go ahead and check us out. I'm going to put the Macari link down below too in case you want to cop anything. All right, peace. Yes.